What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Mountain Motorsports Health and Wellness channel. One of my favorite parts of the job is connecting with the employees on our store visits. And today got to chop it up with some guys and girls about just some common health and wellness issues that some of you might find relatable. Talking diagnostics, getting our blood work, getting our hormones checked, which can play havoc on our system if we aren't regulating that properly. Weight loss, goal setting, and even some mobility and flexibility issues with our active members who like to run and hike and stuff like that. So I'm going to share some of these discussions with you guys, and again, hopefully you may take a little bit of info away. All right, let's go get them. Treat yourself like a high performance vehicle. Right. Or a bike, and put good fuel in it, and it'll serve you in the long run. It's going to have you revving off the limiter. Okay, so diagnostics, avoiding processed food, and prioritizing whole sources of food and protein. And you can do that through a meal prep. If you like to cook, cool. Or
I do, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, prioritizing protein, making sure that you're getting in 2 to 220 grams of protein per day. Get your steps in, don't sleep on walking, okay? 7,500 to 10,000 steps a day significantly reduces your risk of any cardiovascular issues, longevity. It's going to increase the longevity of life, decreases your chance of stroke or death by 50%. And you've got your accountability partner, right?
Yeah,
Samantha? Yeah, she's the best, right? Awesome. And make sure that you get a hormone panel. A lot of comprehensive blood tests won't actually test for certain things like luteinizing hormone or sex hormone binding globulin, and these are important in our journeys of fitness and health and weight loss.
Okay.
We don't know if we don't know, right? Like I said, people bring their motorcycles in. You got to run diagnostics on it to find out what's wrong with it. The human body is no different, and I guarantee this engine is a lot more complex than any sort of motorized vehicle.
And I was told that plastic water bottles are bad because they kill your testosterone level.
Well, yeah, there's studies to show that you're looking at like 25 million parts of plastic runoff that's degrading inside the water bottle.
Okay.
So yeah, tap water, no bueno, but bottled water, remember most bottled water is tap water. Think about it. If it doesn't say filtered or spring, then it's tap water. It's bottled tap water with toxicities, yeah. What about sodas? Do you drink much soda?
I do like Mountain Dew Zeros, but I've been kind of weaning myself
cut those off too.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew's banned in Europe.
Really?
Because it's not fit for human consumption.
Really?
Yeah. If that doesn't, I like Mountain Dew too. But guess what? It's fluorescent green.
Yeah.
It has I think it's brominated vegetable oil, BVO. I think is the banned substance in it. They've had to change it here, but yeah, Mountain Dew, bro, ain't doing you any favors.
What about the Zero Monsters?
None of, bro. No. I guarantee you cut those out, you'll lose 15 pounds.
Really?
Straight up.
Even though there's zero sugar?
Yeah, it's zero sugar doesn't mean there's zero sugar. It's full of artificial sugars, which are playing havoc on your system.
Okay. Well, I don't drink coffee. So, okay, what about the Mio with the caffeine? Can I have that?
I would probably stick to the LMNT that I just showed you. Mio, yeah, look, again, man, it's just look at the label. If it's got more than sort of 5 ingredients or you can't pronounce, probably not good. My thing would be, have you got any recent blood work? Meaning, like, so you understand what you're deficient in or what you're needing. Perfect. There were a couple of nighttime supplements that could be perhaps doubling up on things. Do you have trouble sleeping anyway?
No.
Okay. You just want that maximum recovery. Cool.
Started having some hip and back problems, so I'm thinking I'm not stretching enough.
Or not necessarily stretching, but mobility work.
Yeah.
Right. Think about when we run. We're not putting our foot through the full range of motion that our plantar fascia need.
Yeah.
So when you're warming up, it might be worthwhile walking backwards or even jogging backwards. Look at the foot difference when I walk backwards, where my toes are, and opening up the fascia, and then also knees over toes is going to help strengthen that knee joint. Right? It's going to help bulletproof those knees. So if you are having sort of issues like that, incorporate sort of hip mobility into your warm up, like hurdles. Yeah, exactly, like hurdles. Even it's 10 each side. The bottom here, yeah. Kettlebell is one of the oldest and most fundamental apparatus known to man. It's been around since.
Ball, you know?
Right, yeah. The kettlebell has stayed true. Has a lot of functionality, particularly for sort of hips and lower back. So make sure that you're doing it properly. And this also opens up that posterior chain if you're doing swings, right? So that's great for hip mobility. It's great to strengthen the glutes and posterior chain.
Do you recommend like maybe a couple days, run a couple days and do kettlebell and then or alternate or?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna always suggest there's an old adage, get strong, live long.
Yeah.
There's something about putting pressure over your bone to improve bone marrow density. The more muscle we have, the higher testosterone we have, the better metabolic rate we have, the better sleep we have. So part and parcel is to be, look at this. Would you like you got to look at the Olympics. You got a 5,000 meter runner, and you got a sprinter. Very different physiques, very different energy systems. Working off aerobic and anaerobic. So, being able to incorporate functional work in with your running is just going to improve your running, right? With your warm-ups, like I said, doing backwards, it's going to help with your plantar fascia, which again, it all dominoes, right? If you've got tight Achilles, and then you've got tight hamstrings, tight glutes, tight lower back, tight erector spinae. So yeah, getting your body moving as much as it is possible, and cross-training as much as you can. So yeah, running's great. Running's great for cardiovascular health. Weight training is great for weight loss, which you don't need a weight loss. But functionality as far as shoulders, hips, and then obviously the function of your entire body while you're running. Now, there's something to be said about caffeine upon waking. So when we wake up, we have a natural cortisol spike about 45 minutes to 90 minutes when we wake. Notice how you wake up and you're a little groggy. An hour and a half, that's when our natural cortisol spikes, and that's what kind of wakes us up. So what's happening if we have coffee within that time, it gives us a false spike.
I'll drink coffee.
Okay? And then what happens, so what caffeine does, it actually blocks what's called adenosine receptors. Adenosine is what makes us tired. Adenosine builds throughout the day, and that's what makes us fall asleep at night. So what caffeine does is actually blocks the adenosine receptors. It's not necessarily the caffeine that's keeping you up, it's making you not tired. Interesting way to look at it, right? So
Caffeine actually makes me tired. It has the opposite effect on me.
That's what interests me with subjective chemistry. Some people have stimulants and it makes them go the opposite way.
What's the difference between LMNT and liquid IV?
Liquid IV is full of sugar.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of electrolytes, particularly even like Pedialyte, right?
Is sugar important though for like absorption of liquids?
Not necessarily. There is some studies to suggest that glucose actually inhibits the absorption of minerals. Particularly why certain of the leading examples of electrolytes are usually using natural products like monk fruit, stevia, and things like that. The jury's out on that still, but ultimately, if we can decrease the amount of sugar that's going into our system, we need to. And if we're just getting sugar in every single thing, then we're just overdoing it, right? And it can be hidden in a lot of different foods and drinks, right? They're calling high fructose corn syrup now. There's another ingredient called maltitol that's in a lot of protein supplements. It's kind of just sneaky, artificial sweeteners. Oh yeah, 100%. That's what we use for our energy source, yeah.
Is there any exercises that you would recommend to strengthen the muscles around my knees for extra support?
100%. So actually what I was just saying too is don't sleep on walking backwards. So when in your warm-up or...
I have walked backwards downhill before because my knees hurt so dang bad.
So walking backwards puts your knee in a position which helps strengthen the patella tendon. So my guess is that you're having a bit of pain at the front of your knee under the kneecap.
I think pain, yeah.
So is there a rubber band?
No.
You know, there are patella straps, but you can make your own out of sort of like thing just to alleviate it for now. But
I do have patella straps.
Okay.
I use those on my hike.
Does it help?
They really help.
Yeah, cool, perfect. So that in itself, I would run that, and then I would give yourself time to heal, because if you're only just keeping trekking and hiking on an injury or inflammation, it's only going to aggravate it and make it worse. But as far as bulletproofing the knee, check out a guy online. His name's Knees Over Toes Guy. Nordic curls, walking backwards, sled pulling. Any time that we're loading the knee in a position that isn't necessarily normal for what we are doing cadence-wise throughout the day, is going to help strengthen that knee joint. Don't neglect the posterior chain, especially your hamstrings. Weak hamstrings can also contribute to poor knee issues. So Nordic curls, which are kind of tough, but you can do hamstring strengthening work anyway. But Knees Over Toes Guy, you're gonna find a whole lot of info from him. He's a guy that's had about 9 knee surgeries, and he's dunking from the free throw line now.
Really?
Yeah. I've helped a lot of people. I personally, when I'm warming up, if I've got a 10-minute warm up on the treadmill, at least 2 of those minutes is walking backwards. All right, guys, if you're still watching, thank you very much, and hopefully you took away something, again, that was perhaps relatable to you. These are common issues when it comes to health and wellness, weight loss, goal setting, motivation, discipline. So Make sure, guys, that you are getting your engine checked, get baseline, get diagnostics, so we know how to set clear, concise goals with whatever fitness journey you have. All right, we'll see you next time.